soon as he read the mission, he realized that it was to inspect the basement, a task usually given to the search team. He told the person that he couldn't accept this mission. The person replied that the search team was not suitable for this task. The shop owner had seen corpses in his basement, and upon hearing this, he was stunned. It was impossible for something like this to happen in the city. He thought the owner might have seen a rat or something else, as this mission was not suitable for his training. The person pleaded with him to accept the mission because no one else was willing to do it. The owner was very kind, but also a bit irritable. The shop owner's wife had recently gone missing, and he believed it was related to the basement. He requested him to check quickly, but he refused again, saying that these were not the kinds of missions he undertook. However, he accepted the mission and arrived at the shop, where a woman opened the door and welcomed him. She directed them towards the basement, informing them that the owner was also there. The shop owner greeted him. He was excavating in the basement and reported that he had found a tunnel after digging. He was astonished at the sight of the tunnel. He had never thought there could be a tunnel in the middle of the city. There might be something more there, so he took a torch and entered the tunnel with the shop owner. As he went into the tunnel, the inside seemed very large. He stopped and looked ahead. There were several paths before them. He realized that this tunnel was designed like a labyrinth. As they start walking on a path, the owner tells him that the voice he hears is possibly that of a living dead person. He told him to stay right there while he went to check the tunnel. When Encred took the first step on the path, he saw a light at the end. He felt the heat. The light was coming closer to them, but they could not understand that it was fire, and they both got burned and died. Encred woke up from his sleep. The animal was sleeping beside him. He returned the same day. He felt that as soon as he detected the heat, it burned him. He could not take another step, as it was a magical trap set by the sorcerer. He got ready and was heading to the shop. Ram was taking him to gain more experience, but now he knew all their conversations. If you meet a sorcerer, you are fortunate if you die in front of him in battle. If you survive, you will face an even worse situation. This also applies to traps made by sorcerers. He thought about what he could do against a magical trap. What technique would work against the magic? When he went to the mission board, the same man came with the shoemaker's request. He accepted the request this time, thinking that he would have to find a magic specialist for it or seek help from higher authorities. It was not something he could do by himself, just as he had faced the barrier in front of him before. He thought that if he asked his commander for help, she might listen to him. He needed to stop shop owner from entering the tunnel alone. He remembered that the owner was about to enter the tunnel, so he began running towards his shop at full speed. He enters his shop, and the owner's daughter is surprised to see him. He asks her about her father, and she tells him that he is in the basement. As they arrived at basement, but he had already entered the tunnel, he jumps into the tunnel and runs to find him. Encred finds the shop owner and tells him to stop right there. The owner is surprised to see him because it was his first time seeing him, but he had already set foot on the path. The fire had ignited, and they both burned again. He reaches a strange place again. He is sitting and thinking that he must find a solution. He needs to find the owner first and stop him from entering the tunnel. A grim reaper came from behind and told Encred that even if he comes back, he can feel the pain with each death. So why does he still intend to take a step towards that fire? He tells the reaper that even if the pain is 1,000,000 times more painful, he will never give up on his dream of becoming a knight, and will never watch innocent people die in front of him. He came back to that same morning. He gets up from his bed and leaves the room. Ram asks him where he is speeding off to. He replies that he is going to save a troubled shoemaker. He arrived before the owner could dig the pit. He could stop him from digging the basement, but he could not let such a dangerous thing stay here. He was ready to enter it. The owner also wanted to enter, but he told him to stay here, and he was going alone. As soon as he entered the labyrinth, he felt that finding the magic expert was the right decision. But how long would it take, and he did not know whether they would listen to him or not. As he reached the beginning of the tarp, he knew that many people must have died while exploring this labyrinth. He had to gather as much information about this place as possible. If he wanted to gain information about this place, he had to enter this path. He could repeat this day as many times as he wanted. He started looking for signs at the entrance of each path. He did not know how many times he had repeated the days in the past and how he felt each time. He remembered the first encounter with the blade that took his life, how it felt at that moment. He remembered Jackson's words, "If there is something that wants nothing but his death." He had a sense of the murderous intent as he moved forward. He felt a blade coming towards him, but there was nothing in front of him. He took a step forward and the blade cut him in half. He was smiling because he had sensed the trap before it activated. He had recognized the trap with the murderous intent. With this, today's episode has ended. See you all in next episode. Thanks for watching my video. Like and subscribe my channel.